Buff Metal back with another video today. Society hates extreme metal because it cannot be controlled. What's going on, guys? Got a tasty rant for you today. Here we go. We are talking power. We are talking control. We are talking extreme metal. If any of those things interest you, do subscribe. This is the channel where I take extreme metal and I blend it with philosophy and I talk life and we serve it up piping hot. So if any of those things interest you, do follow below. Anyways, let's get into the subject of today's video. Something that I feel very passionately about. Extreme metal is a stronghold for the freedom of expression, in my opinion. I've been listening to the new Edelweiss album, and I found it funny that they had to put it on Spotify under a different name because, well, I guess Edelweiss or whatever isn't deemed okay enough for society, right? Good album, by the way. If you haven't checked them out, it's like psych rock or something, but it's almost a lot like Black Magic SS. It's that whole like psychedelic like World War II themed. I was gonna say black metal, but I guess it's just heavy metal at this point. But anyways, I love that stuff and I think it's a very cool artistic take, right? I think it's very original. I don't know that many people, you know, could have ever seen something like that coming. Very psychedelic, very far out, man. I love it, you know. But I think it's crazy that that guy can't just promote his music, you know, as what it is because Spotify has a problem with it. You know, like I don't really understand. Like, look, here's why I love extreme metal, right? This is a place where the flow of ideas should be unhindered, right? And I hate this in real life too, right? I almost use extreme metal as a litmus test for people. Like, dude, if you can get down with Goat Moon, right? Some of my favorite music ever, right? If I can show you this and be like, yeah, dude, check this out. This is Goat Moon. This guy's got some pretty far out. Listen to him scream on this track or that track, you know, especially it was even sketchier in back some of those older albums, Death Before Dishonor and whatnot. But I love that stuff, man. And to me, if I can show you that shit and you can go, damn, this boy is tripping, you know, or this guy's wiling out, like, and still get down with the music, I'm like, man, you can hang. You are impervious to the flow of ideas, you know, like, and that's really what society hates, I think, right? Is society wants everything to fit into a box. It all should mold into something that is, you know, it can be a little taboo, you know, like in these, this is why new horror movies suck, you know what I mean? It's because there's nothing really taboo in them, like, because no one's afraid of Satan and shit anymore, and they keep trying to make demon shit and possession, you know, a thing. If they really wanted to shock people, they'd make a new version of Hostel, and they'd put, and basically it'd be a play on like Epstein's Island or something like that. You know what I mean? Something really, I mean, that is art that is, or would be, you know, so extreme and so shocking and so like, oh my God, I hate that this is real, but I have to take it in because it's saying something real. You know, like people nowadays can't seem to say anything real in their art, except I find in extreme metal, you know, because this is a stronghold. It's like I'm saying, for some reason, people here seem to have more open-minded approaches to their art, you know? And I've always loved that. Again, like, if I can't show you something like Edelweiss or Black Magic SS because, oh, it's taboo, it's a little sketchy, I'm like, dude, so I have the saying, right? The way you do one thing is the way you do everything in life. And I do believe that if that's the way you interpret art, where it's like, dude, I got nothing in common with you, man. I'm sorry. I love, you know, the free flow of ideas. And I think it's sacrilegious to all art to try and restrict any kind of art. You know what I mean? I am a true red-blooded American in that sense, where I'm like, open the floodgates, do your worst, you know, say whatever. I think at the end of the day, your response to it says more about the art than what the artist who made it does. Let's get real esoteric about it, right? So what do I believe as far as like an artist creative process goes? You know, like I really do believe that the art moves through you. So take Robert Crumb. He's an American cartoonist, and he would post some of the raunchiest cartoons. Shit that was so taboo, you know, back in the day, people would be like, how is this in print? And Robert Crumb had the best response to this. He goes, yeah, maybe you should take my pencils away and lock me up and not let me do stuff like this. But I can't help it. It just moves through me, and I have to get these ideas out, right? And to me, that's like, wow, this guy can just hold communion with the other side, you know, the esoteric side of life, the like, the cosmic creativity. You're tapping into that, right? And regardless of what comes out of it, I think it's more important that it should not be limited, right? What will say more of what comes out of it is people's response to it, right? And when people are, you know, like, why? Maybe, and again, I know people have their traumas and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And I do understand that. And I'm not trying to put anyone down for not being able to take things that are extreme. I'm not that insensitive, guys, right? But I do think it's important that all ideas flow, right? And that's what I love about extreme metal, man. Like, take an album like Mortal Decay's Sickening Erotic, you know, deep cut there, but I've been listening to that album a lot, and man, it fucking rules, you know. Such a unique guitar tone and instrumentation, and the scales they use, man. I don't know, super cool stuff. Regardless, what if one day someone goes, oh, this is dirty, this is fucked up, like, and then, you know, the FCC or whoever gets together and they're like, oh, we can't be having stuff like this just chilling on Spotify, because that's where it is. I mean, look it up. It, like, what's gonna happen then when people start going, oh no, you can't have some? And Sickening Erotic is not that much of a deep cut, right? Like, Mortal Decay is like a deep cut band, I guess, but in the underground they're fairly well known and respected. But like, I do worry, you know, that one day they will try and stifle this down. Like, dude, let's go to the godfathers of it all, Cannibal Corpse, right? Like, what's gonna happen when they look back at Tomb of the Mutilated and they go, you can't have that song? And you know what song I'm talking about, you know? You can't have that song on there. Take down the album, you know? Zombies eating each other out on the cover. Oh, take it off, you know? And again, man, you can go watch any episode of Law & Order or, you know, mainstream movie that's been put out in the last 25 years, and you'll see any taboo that is under the sun. And it's just like the picking and choosing of what we deem acceptable, you know, of what we are allowed to put out and where we put it out. It's so infuriating to me that I made this video today pretty much to just talk about that, you know, and to say, like, man, make sure you go out. It goes back to one of my golden rules with extreme metal, right? If you're in this subculture, if you're, you know, taking part in all this, promote bands, dude. Comment on bands' videos, hype them up, gas them up, share them on your story, post those records you buy on Instagram. Who cares? I know a million people do it, but they will try and stifle that shit if they can, you know? Abyssic Hate, dude, RIP to that dude and that band, you know? I can't believe, I guess I can believe it, but it's a shame that dude just passed. But on that, I went to go listen to Suicidal Emotions, you know, on YouTube, and guess what? They took the original album cover down. I'm like, what do you mean you took it down? I know, yeah, it's a little rough, right? But like, dude, that roughness, that rawness, it painted a picture, right? That album is so good. That's a DSBM classic, you know? Again, before DSBM was whack and weak, you know, and just harbinged on weakness, that image of that album cover was so intense and so, like, jarring. And then with the black metal behind it, Abyssic Hate, just, that's a fully, like, raw, in your face fucking art piece. But now they take the album cover down because it's too much for people to handle, because in their eyes, they think it glorifies, I don't even know, like, what, self-harm or something? I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do with shit like that. But man, that's that shit that drives me nuts. So yeah, guys, look, at extreme metal, society it's always going to be war between society and extreme metal, right? Like, that's why it's our job to fucking charge forth to the front lines with this shit, right? Don't let them cancel Goat Moon, fucking Abyssic Hate, Edelweiss, Black Magic SS, because they will, man. They'll try to squash it like a bug. And I'll tell you this, as long as Buff Metal's making videos, I'm not going to let it happen, because I, unlike a lot of these fucking people, actually do believe in the freedom of expression and ideas for all artists. Yeah, guys, that's it. I just wanted to ramble about that a bit today, because I think it's important, you know? RIP to that dude in Abyssic Hate, and yeah, I'm going to spin that album I'm not going to spin it, actually. I used to have it and I sold it. Don't sell your collections. I cannot make that more clear. Please, God, guys, don't. Regardless, and it's for reasons like this, too, where it's like, well, now when they repress it, are they going to be able to press that original album cover? They fucking better be, you know? man, yeah, art. Just be careful, guys. You know, be aware of this kind of stuff, because the world is run by people who are sick for power and control. They whack off to it, dude. All they want is the power, you know, and they want to take it from you and have it for themselves and make polite society all just congregate and go to church and do, you know, and suck each other off with a Bible in hand. And dude, the underground's not going for that shit. So anyways, guys, let the ideas flow. Fucking set that, be free, dude. If you're an artist, take advantage of that fucking, like, you know, freedom that we all have, you know, before it's not there anymore. Fucking rock on, guys. You know the deal.